Minister of the words, we wish you and your family every success with the book, and possibly and hopefully this is only the first of many. So would you welcome Vincent Eke?
Thank you, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for coming. It's great to see you all. And today is a very exciting day for me because of seeing all of you. I would just like to thank a few people who have helped me in this journey. First of all, I'd like to thank God for giving me the opportunity and the grace to be able to see this journey through to the finished product, to be able to publish this book. It's taken quite a long time from, the planning stage, from when I started thinking about writing it. It's taken a couple of years, and that's because of a lot of reasons, both financial and technical reasons. However, I'm very excited today that finally the book is here and I can touch it. So that makes me very, very happy. I would also like to thank Minister Simon Coben for taking the opportunity to come and launch this book. I know he's a very busy man, and I'm very happy that he accepted my invitation to do the launching of the book. Thank you, Minister Simon. And I'd also like to thank the Deputy Lord Mayor for coming as well. Thank you for your support. I'd also like to thank a lot of people, Mayor Thompson from the Educate Together school in Carrigaline, who has been of great help to me, and the school of my son, Raymond, St. Killian's. Thank you all for coming. It's great to see you guys. I'd also like to thank Brian O'Kane, who has been my business mentor throughout this whole journey for the last 2 years. It's been great. It's been there for me all the time. Every time I've had to, I've been unsure of what to do. He has kind of encouraged me to keep going. So thank you, Brian. I appreciate all your help, and I hope we'll continue to work together in the future. Without you, this book would have come out. There are some organizations that help me with courses and other things to bring this book out, such as CCAD. CCAD was very instrumental in giving me the confidence to go ahead and pursue the publication of my book. So thank you, CCAD, and thank you for the representatives who are here today. I'd also like to thank the Cork City Partnership, who has helped me through the Back to Work Enterprise scheme to also pursue my dream of becoming a self-employed person, an entrepreneur, and possibly an author, and publishing my book. So thank you, Cork City Partnership. And I'm not going to forget the most important people in my life, and that's my family. They have been great. They have been awesome. I want to thank Georgina. I want to thank Raymond. I want to thank Joshua and Matthew for being there for me. They've always encouraged me. When I read my stories to them, they've always told me it's a beautiful story. They like it. I hope that's true. And finally, I would like to thank the staff of the Cork City Library, Ronin and Tapu, and Evelyn, who is not here. She's still unwell. Please do thank her for me, and I wish her the best. They've also been instrumental in helping me to secure this place to launch my book, because it took me a while to find the right venue. I think this is the perfect venue and the perfect day to launch my book. So on that note, I won't want to talk too much. I want to thank all of you once again for coming. I appreciate you being here. And please, do pick up a copy. It's a beautiful book, beautiful story. Tell your friends about it. Help me, pass it on by word of mouth. And the book will be available locally in all the shops, in Eastings, Waterstones, and in the local bookshop in Carrigaline. as well as in Fortress, in Wilton, in the city center. And it's also online as well in all the online eBook retail shops like Amazon and iBook Store. So you can buy the paperback as well as the Kindle version, the eBook. You can download the eBook. So on that note, I'm going to read some excerpts from my book. It'll take me a while to finish the book, so I'm sure all of you are not ready to stay here for a long time. So I'm going to read some of the best bits, and you can take your time when you get home to read the book fully and enjoy it. It's a beautiful story. So I'm going to start from the first chapter, story time. It was one of those nights when up in the sky you could see the full moon and stars hanging in divine splendor. Each star shone down upon the people below as if sending a message that their lost ones were not really gone, but instead were now part of the galaxy of stars protecting them. The croaking of the frogs in the nearby pond and the chirping of the crickets in the bush beyond, exchanging pleasantries, could be clearly heard. The night air was filled with the pungent smell of burning wood. You could hear the crackling of the bamboo as it gave itself up to the apparent heat of the fire. My fellow animals, he roared, you will have noticed that famine is creeping up on our land. We have little food left in our forest for everyone, and our young ones are beginning to die from starvation. Lima paused and looked around to assure himself that everyone was listening. The Council of Elders has decided to seek suggestions from you all about what to do to solve our problem of food shortage until this famine wears off. In the middle of the crowd, Zingy, the fish eagle, was flapping his wings. Yes, Zingy, I see you want to say something. What is it you want to say? Asked Lima. 2 days ago, in my quest for food for my family, I happened to fly past the land of the humans, and I noticed that they don't look hungry, said Zingy, talking in his wings. They're growing fat, and I even heard the town crier announce that their king has ordered everyone to bring some of their excess food to the palace barn for storage. Now, anyone who finds food must bring it back to the square. We will store some of the food in the great Iroko tree, and the rest will be shared among every family. Anyone who disobeys or hides any food will be banished from this forest, decreed Lima the lion. The next day, Tobi the turtle was walking by the edge of the forest. A holder slung over his left shoulder. Inside the holder, all along with his small knife and shovel he needed for gathering food, was a small hourglass-shaped drum. The drum, known as a talking drum, gives out a loud, melodious sound. Tobi was singing aloud to himself when he noticed a young girl carrying a food basket filled to the brim with chin-chin, sweet fried chips made from bread dough. Tobi stopped and quickly hid behind a clump of bushes to watch her. She was walking alongside the forest, down by the unused road which led to the king's palace. Nobody used this road anymore. As the young girl passed Tobi's hiding place, he thought of an idea. Tobi sang his favorite song. And the favorite song goes like this. And I hope that all of you will be able to join me in a minute. Without the drumming, this song goes like this. It's a magical song. It goes like ting, ting, tirin, ting, tirin, perere, oh papi de, oh perere, oh mami de, oh perere. Would you like to repeat it with me? Would you like to sing it with me?
Right.
Right. So the first line is ting, ting. You say it.
Ting, ting,
Tiling, ting, tiling, perere.
ting, 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 ting,
O papi de o perere.
oh papi, oh perere,
O mami de o perere.
oh mami, oh perere.
Awesome. Then you repeat it over and over again. Now, let's do it one more time. Ting, ting. We go. Ting, ting. Tiling, ting, tiling, perere.
Ting, 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 perere,
O papi de o perere.
oh papi, oh perere,
O mami de o perere.
oh mami, oh perere.
And then we'll repeat it with the drumming again. Ting,
Ting,
ting, ting, perere. O papi de o perere. O mami de o perere.
ting,
Ting, ting, ting, ting, perere. O papi de o perere. O mami de o perere. Now, you're awesome. That's a talking drum. When you squeeze it, different sounds comes out of it as you're hitting the drum. And it's traditionally used in Western Africa, especially in Nigeria. I wonder where that singing is coming from, the girl said. I know for sure that there can't be anybody around these parts of the village. The girl could not help herself. She swayed her head and listened to the sound of the song. Tobi noticed that the young girl started to dance to his song. Then she put her basket down by the bush. He was slightly surprised by her behavior. No human had heard this song before, or even danced to it like this girl. Tobi stopped singing. The young girl also stopped dancing. Tobi thought of another idea. He brought out his small drum. He beat the drum again. He beat the drum once. Bam! He beat the drum twice. Bam, bam! And then he beat the drum repeatedly. He then started to sing. To his drum. He wasn't so surprised this time when the girl started to dance once more. As Tobi continued singing, the girl continued dancing away from her basket. The song and the drumming was so melodious that the young girl danced and left her food basket behind. And Tobi thought of taking the food to the square to show everybody. But on the way, he changed his mind and took the food home to his family. Tobi, his wife, and children were so happy that they ate all the delicious chinchi. The next day, Tobi went to the same spot. To me, she said, her head and legs began to move to the music. My head and legs just seemed to have a mind of their own whenever I heard that drumming and singing. Then she placed her food basket by the bush path so she could move more freely. As Tobi continued singing, the young girl continued dancing away from her food baskets. As soon as their mission was accomplished, Tobi stopped playing his drum. The young girl also stopped dancing. She looked around but could not find her basket of food. My basket of chinchi is gone, she said, looking behind the shrubs and trees. She kept on searching and looking everywhere, but she could not find the basket. Eventually, she decided to give up her search. Yes, we did it, Tobi said to his son. Let's go home and celebrate. He crawled back into the tunnel. Tobi covered the opening of the tunnel with dried brown banana leaves. I'm very proud of you, Tobi, said Mama Toto. You have saved our family from going hungry. Mama, it wasn't Papa that did the work, said the children. We helped as well. I know, children, said Mama Toto, hugging her two offspring. I did not forget you. Thank you, Tony and Sean, for helping your father to bring the food through the tunnel. Tobi and his family had a feast that day, and even had enough to keep some in storage. As time went by, Tobi and his family grew fat, robust, and healthy, while other animals grew thin and happy. Well, have it your way, Bumby. I've told you my secret, said Tobi, whistling his favorite tune as he struggled from the bank of the stream. I don't think that rascal Tobi has told me the truth. I must bring this matter to the notice of Liban the lion immediately, said Bongi, aloud to himself as he watched Tobi's bag disappear into the bush. Bongi went straight to look for Liban. He decided to run using the little strength still left in his body. He took the shortcut to the square that passes under the two ash coconut trees. Ewu! Exclaimed the familiar wacky voice from the top of a nearby tree branch. Bongi came to a screeching halt. Bongi came to a screeching stop as he heard the surprise voice and looked up to find Zingi staring down at him crossly, like some hungry animal that just missed his meal. Bongi, look what you've done, shouted Zingi the fish eater. What's so important that you have to be backing and running through the woods? You just scared away the little mouse my family and I were going to have for dinner. Greetings to you, Bongi, and to you, Zingi, replied Lima. Well, if that's the case, then I invite you to come closer, Bongi, my friend. There's nothing to be afraid of. My family are more scared of eating you than you are of them. And as for you, Zingi, by the time they've removed the feathers from your body, they will have lost their appetite, said Lima in a congenial and friendly voice. The next market day, Bongi, Zingi, Zuli, Anda, and Harry watched Tobi and his family as they used their secret method to get food from the young girl on the way to the king's palace. Tobi and his family didn't realize that they were being watched the whole time. The other animals patiently waited until Tobi and his family sat down to eat their meal at dinner time. Then they pounced on them and arrested them. Greedy turtles, barked Bongi as the other animals grabbed Tobi and his wife and children. Selfish Tobi, screeched Zingi. Tie their hands, tie a lot of them together, and take all the food in the house to the square, bellowed Zuli the elephant. Please don't harm us, cried Mama Turtle and the children. We haven't done anything wrong. The other animal took Tobi and his family to the square where all the other animals had gathered. Tie them up at the end of the square, Lima said angrily. We will all decide how to punish them after we have all eaten this food Tobi has saved. Tobi, Mama Turtle, and his son Tobi and daughter Shani were tied to the trees at the end of the square. All the animals then ignored them as they went to the other side, where they were all going to eat, where they were all going to have a feast on the chin-chin and other food taken from Tobi's house. Tobi tugged and struggled with the ropes trying to free himself, which was not good. His ropes were tied very tight. Mama Turtle and Tony did the same, but theirs were also tied very tight. Mama, look, my ropes are not so tight, Shoni said. She tried moving forward and then sideways. She then pulled at her ropes. Fortunately for Shoni, her ropes got so loose that she could wiggle herself from underneath her. Shoni hurriedly freed her father, who then freed Mama Turtle and Tony. Tobi could see that the other animals' backs were turned to them as they fed on the delicious chin-chin. Listen, everyone, we have to run and escape from here while they had all eaten, Tobi said to his family. Tobi and his family started to creep away from the edge of the square and into the bush. As they did this, they heard a shout from behind them. Hey! They are escaping! Somebody shouted. Get them! Don't let them escape, they heard Lima saying. Run! Run fast, Tobi said to his family. They are coming! Tobi and his family ran as fast as they could. They did not know where they were running to. The other animals pursued them until they caught up with them at the edge of the bottomless cave. Tobi and his family were trapped. There was nowhere else to run. They stood an inch backwards to the edge of the cave as the other angry animals came closer and closer to them. Get them, Lima shouted. They must be punished. As some of the mob of animals moved forward to grab hold of them, Tobi and his family slipped at the edge and fell into the cave. Tobi and his family fell down the deep cave and hit the rocks below. This caused their shells to crack in many places, and they sustained several injuries to their bodies. Luckily for Tobi and his family, they were saved from being killed by a medicine man who was out walking in the thick forest inside the cave, looking for healing plants and roots. The medicine man heard their cry for help and came to their rescue. The medicine man took them to his home and tended to their wounds. He mixed different herbs together and used it to heal their bodies and glued up the shoulders of Tobi and his family. They stayed with the medicine man until they were well again. So, my children, this is the reason why ever since the tortoise shell has had the past shape you see today, and its craftiness and wisdom has never been reduced either, proclaimed Mama as if with divine knowledge. The end.